Alright, welcome back to another Bedwars video, and in this video, we'll do the top 25 highest solo win streaks, and this is probably my most suggested idea that I haven't done yet, and it's also something that I just want to do, so like I'm gonna do it. I mean, like, the solo win streak leaderboard is maybe the leaderboard that's changed the most over the years. Like, from Salazar's top 25 solo win streaks, only 11 actually made it onto my list, and most just barely. Also, last time a solo win streak leaderboard was made, there were like 17 win streaks above 100, and from my research, I think that there's more like 70 to 80 nowadays that are above 100, so I think this leaderboard needs updating. Also, I am in fact one plank length away from 1k, so you know, like, please! And I will do something for 1k. I mean, like, it's not gonna be anything good or crazy, but it's gonna be something. So sub to find out what that is, and let's get into the win streaks. Alright, at number 25, we have a tied spot between Kozer and Timnus at 140, and they also coincidentally tied for the highest post-obfuscation solo win streak, which is pretty cool. But Kozer's win streak ended on a good note. He was happy with the progress, he had fun with the win streak, he was like satisfied. But Timnus, on the other hand, had like a horrible experience, bro. When he uploaded a vid of him at 113, I said that if he got a 141, he'd make it onto the list, which he took as a challenge, and then later told me he lost one win away at 140. But then one of the win streaks on my list turned out to be an anti-sniper glitch, so he made it on anyways. But that was almost like the most heartbreaking fail ever, bro, because he was one win away from being the first obfuscation to be on my list, and then he failed, but he made it on in the end anyway, so it's all happy and rainbows. At number 24, we have Tilting Sun at 141, and this is from 2022, and Tilting Sun is someone I honestly didn't really expect to be on here, since he's more known for like doubles and fours and everything except solos. But as we'll see more at the end of the video, he's like actually really good at solos, maybe one of the best even. And some people do accuse him of boosting with cheaters, which even if it is true, you can't really boost with no teammates, at least not that kind of boosting, so he gets the pass for now. At number 23, we have 3 hours at 142, and this is probably one of the more unknown win streaks on here, as it only has like 60 views on YouTube, and then the guy only has like 60 subs. But this win streak is in early 2022, and it was actually lost because he crashed when someone flooded his map. And if he got like any higher, he probably would have gotten a lot higher on this list, because it's really like bunched up at the bottom. So it's pretty sad that he didn't even lose to a sniper. He lost to his computer just being bad. But if we're gonna make him feel better, then he could go watch his video, even though he quit like 2 years ago. At number 22, we have a tied spot between Zeke Gaming and Curtis at 145. So if you don't know, Zeke Gaming was at one point the number 2 solos Bedwars player, and he also had a YouTube channel which is now deleted with like 10,000 subs or something. And it's not an egregious take to say that at the time, he's probably one of the best solos players. So this guy has 16 solo win streaks over 100. The next highest has 5. He also has 6 win streaks on this list. The next highest has 3. And fun fact, besides 1, all of his win streaks are apparently undodged, except for some nicks, which like no one else does that. I'm not positive, but I think Z, with 6 win streaks on this list and some pretty high, is one of 3 people who didn't dodge on this list, the other 2 being at our previous number 25 spot, so Z is kind of a beast. Curtis is also at 145, and while this guy is kind of an infamous cheater, he didn't cheat until 2023. And this win streak was in late 2022, and this win streak is actually lost to Lagback, which a lot of the win streaks on this list weren't even sniped. Like a good third or maybe even half of them are lost in like some dumb way or like ongoing, which is not something you'll see in other leaderboards, so I don't really know what's up with that. And at number 21, we have Tough Ninja at 146, and this guy's kind of an OG. He played like 4 or 5 years ago, and at one point he was the number 4 spot on the leaderboards, and he's a YouTuber with about 2.5 thousand subs, but at one point he was a pretty good solo win streaker. He also has the number 14th highest doubles win streak on Salazar's leaderboard, but today it's probably not even top 30 because of how much doubles has advanced through the years. But this win streak was in February of 2021, and he actually has a couple of videos on it because he was kind of a goat. At number 20, we have Vialis at 147, and this is a win streak from Salazar's leaderboard, and there's not really much to say on it because it was kind of just randomly added at one point with like no explanation somewhere around late 2021, and basically nothing shows up when you search them, so I can't really say anything, but good on them, I guess. At number 19, we have Liability with 150, and this is an ongoing win streak since it kind of just like stopped playing at one point. But Liability is a super underrated player. They have like 80 solo FKDR on their main, and it actually brings their FKDR down a lot from their 220 overall FKDR on their main. If you remove their already good solo stats, they have 352 FKDR on their main. What brings this FKDR up the most is that they had 1462 Force Mode FKDR on their main, which is probably up there in like the top 3 or top 5 highest legit Force FKDR. I mean, they have 22 losses at 134 stars on there, and 10 of them are from solos. But this win streak was around mid-2021, and their goal for this win streak was 200, but then they never got it because they got scared of snipers. At number 18, we have Kaizik at 150 plus, and a lot of people forget that Kaizik is actually a really good solos player since he mostly plays like ranked and stuff, but he's actually had some 100 win streaks before, and he was gonna go for the highest solo win streak, but then he left auto queue on while he was eating dinner and then lost. But I don't know what this win streak is exactly, it just says 150 in the title, so that's where I'm gonna put it. This win streak was in early 2022 and late 2021, and he did make some videos on it, mostly on his ult, but also on his main if you want to watch. At number 16, we have a tied spot between Primeeks and Hashido at 152. This is a tied spot between two of the best old gen solos players, and Hashido obviously is one of the best since he's maintained the number 1 spot in solos for over 7 years, though soon he may be passed in the final leaderboards by JBC, which would end the longest reign on any leaderboard, but I might be making things up, I don't know, I just made that up right now. All of these 152 wins were streamed on YouTube in August of 2018, and he lost the win streak not to a player, but to the Void, which honestly makes sense for what was at the time the highest solos win streak. Primeeks also had a 152 win streak, and Primeeks is tied for the second most positions on this leaderboard with 3, but this win streak was in May of 2020, and Primeeks at one point was pretty high. I think he was at least number 3, but now he's like not even top 10. It also has an impressive 50 solos FKDR at 1200 stars, which is pretty impressive, so it's not a surprise that this guy's kind of cracked. At number 15, we have again Zeke Gaming at 153. We'll be seeing a lot of this. Like I said, there's kind of isn't much to say about this win streak since Zeke deleted his channel, and while his channel does still exist in Rumble, there's no videos about the win streaks themselves. These slots are going to be a bit boring since there's kind of no info at all to like keep you guys entertained. So I'll just say one fun fact about Zeke each time it comes up, so I can say anything at all. At number 14, we have Zeke Gaming at 157. Zeke fact number 1, Zeke is a German word and it means time in English. I don't think Zeke meant it this way because he's Swedish, but you never know. At number 13, we have Primeeks at 172, and after this win streak, stuff will start spreading out a little more, since spots 25 to 15 only went up by an average of 1.6 wins, but we already went up that distance in one spot, so it'll get more interesting now. But this win streak was in November of 2020, and it's Primeeks' second highest solo win streak, and at the time, it was his 6th highest solo win streak ever. At number 12, we have Zeke Gaming at 174. Zeke fact number 2, Zeke first joined Hypixel all the way back in 2016, but didn't get his first 1,000 stars until mid-2021. At number 11, we have Solid Prep with 177, and this is a very long win streak. It started all the way back in May of 2019, where he got to 72, then he got to 100 a couple days later before leaving it alone until August of that year, where it got all the way up to 164, then left it again until October, where it got all the way up to 177, and then left it again until late November, where he tried to play on it and then lost his first game, losing at 177. And some people question Solid Prep's legitimacy, such as like Tough Ninja and Vermilion, but there are some pretty skilled players defending him like Zolker, Sashido, Green Video 04, I Love You Purpled, Hurtin, just to name a few. There's like a lot of people defending him actually, but the explosive vid is kind of misleading because it emphasizes how Solid Prep isn't laggy, but the guy recording is laggy and also shaky as fuck, world's shakiest aim. Like, it's so hard to tell what's going on in that video. But honestly, even if Solid Prep was cheating, there's no proof that he was cheating in his solo win streaks, so I'm just gonna leave it on. At the time, this was the new highest solo win streak, dethroning Hashido, and Solid Prep is the number 2 Sods player on the leaderboard, so it's obvious that this guy's pretty good either way. At number 10, we have Zeke Gaming at 181. Zeke fact number 3, Zeke Gaming was apparently really easy to snipe as he only queued air show and didn't listen to people who were literally warning him about being sniped and then getting sniped right after. At number 9, we have dewier at 191, and this is the account with the highest legit sales FKDR ever at 1113, but there's actually some pretty close competition later in the video which we'll get to. But this win streak was in early 2021, and he got to 150 in July of 2021 and then lost it sometime in late 2021. I don't know really when, but this win streak misled me for a very long time because dewier made a vid of him playing solo betters until I lose, where almost the whole point of the video is that he had a very high sales FKDR, which made me think that he was playing on the account. So when he lost, I thought it was his first loss at 275, so I almost put this win streak at 275 instead of 191, but after a close call I managed to catch it in time. So I think we should all unsubscribe for dewier for misleading me, and he's a fraud basically. At number 8, we have solid prep at 192, and honestly, I've probably said enough about this guy. Like, I low-key glazed him, but this win streak was in April of 2020 and actually dethroned his own spot for highest solo win streak, which makes him one of 2 people to do that, which we'll get to, don't worry. But this win streak reigned at the top for only about a month, and his last win streak reigned at the top for 8 months, so solid prep is at the top of the solos leaderboard for 9 months, which is actually, I think, the shortest reign on top, but it's still a very impressive time to maintain a top spot. At number 7, we have Zeet Gaming at 196. Zeet fact number 4, this is Zeet's highest win streak, and he has never had a 200 solos win streak despite him having 16 over 100. Ouch. At number 6, we have Ashi or Viriel at 205, and this win streak was in January of 2024, and Ashi was at one point a leaderboard solos player, and I think a mod of the Abyss Guild if I remember correctly, but this is one of 6 200 plus solo win streaks, which is double what there was at Salazar's list, and this win streak honestly might be an anti-number glitch. Like, there's a good 30 or 40% chance, but either way they're still goated, so I'll let it slide. At number 5, we have Q dodging, which is legitimate at 213, and this is one of our 3 win streaks achieved on all 2 of them being legitimate, and it has 865 solos FKDR, which is somehow the 3rd highest on this list, and I assume the 3rd highest ever. But the first 135 of this win streak was before late 2022. The legitimate played 43 games to get it up to 178 in early 2023. Then after that, he kind of just left the account alone for a while until late July 2024, where I started grinding again, going to 213, and the only reason he stopped was because of obfuscation, which sucks. Like, I'm pretty sure obfuscation happened right in the middle of 10 big win streaks. It was like really bad timing, but this is actually not legitimate's highest solo win streak because next is... At number 4, we have Swarm, which is also legitimate at 220, and this is kind of like really crazy, so let's just dissect it real quick. So it has 1000 solos FKDR, which is the 2nd highest legit behind dewier, but it is the highest without a loss. I mean, the solo index alone puts it in the top 5 highest legit index ever, but that's not even the craziest part, because it has 1635 overall FKDR, which to my knowledge is the highest FKDR ever achieved legit, and it has 87 million index overall, which to compare, the 2nd highest index off the top of my head is legitimate's main at 33 million. Like, this guy's kind of just him, bro. Like, I can't say it any other way. But anyways, this entire account for at least solos was achieved in sometime in 2022, and Swarm did play 2 games in mid 2023 for some reason or another, and the legitimate essentially lost access to the account because Microsoft is like that, which is pretty sad because I could low-key see this getting a lot higher knowing legitimate. But the last game on this account was right before obfuscation of September of 2024 on Hugo's 400 win streak, where it sits today at 220. At number 3, we have Primeeks at 237, and this is Primeeks' highest win streak, and at the time it was achieved, it was the highest solo win streak ever, dethroning solid prep in late May of 2020, and this was the only 200 solo win streak for 2 years, and to this day, 5 years later, is the 3rd highest solo win streak ever, and Primeeks was the number 2 solos player at one point, but even though he's quit for years, he's actually still on the leaderboard because he's that much of a GOAT. At number 2, we have Tilting Sun at 281, and for being number 2, this is a pretty unknown win streak, and this win streak was achieved in early 2022, at the time being the highest solo win streak ever, breaking Primeeks' 2-year reign at the top, which is tied for the longest at 23 months with this win streak. Some people think that Tilting Sun boosts, which honestly might be true. From what I've heard, he doesn't really care about who he queues with, as long as it's like a cool person, but there's no malicious intent in it, and I mean, the guy just kind of wants to have fun, you know? But he can't really play solos with cheaters, or he could, but that would require require malicious intent, which he doesn't have, you know? And again, this win streak could be cheated, but I kind of doubt it since I've seen a lot of good players defend it, and I don't know if Tilting Sun really boosted it in the first place, but if he did, it's probably pretty minor. And Tilting Sun is low-key like a really good Solos player. He's really underrated. He has the highest Solos FKDR for anybody above 200 stars, and at one point he had 830 Solos session FKDR. Just like, Tilting Sun is so underrated, bro. He's like up there with some of the best players of all time. Speaking of which, at number 1, we have Tilting Sun at 323, which is an ongoing win streak and the highest solo win streak ever. Like, I told you he was underrated. So the first 60 games of this win streak was in mid to late 2023. Then from October 2023 to February 2024, went from 63 to 280, which is a pretty impressive jump for a Solos win streak, especially since he's very prone to being sniped. Then the win streak got up to 284 in the next month, surpassing his old win streak and retaking the title of the highest solo win streak from himself. Then in March, Tilting Sun began to feel bold, and he did the infamous 1 game a day strategy, going for 284 on March 16th to 302 in April 2nd, making this the first 300 Solos win streak. After this, he understandably started playing less, but by early July, 2 months later, he got up to 316. By the end of July, he got up to 320. Then he finally got 3 more wins of August of that year, getting to 323 before obfuscation happened and he couldn't play anymore. And this win streak is very deserved. I mean, you can see how carefully he got it and how much he cares. And it's been the highest win streak since March of 2024, or 15 months. And it likely won't ever be passed due to obfuscation unless Timnus or some other really good Solos player like dedicates their life to this. So it's obviously one of the crowning achievements for a Tilting Sun career, and maybe even Bedwars as a whole. But anyways, that's all the win streaks for today, and some of you might realize that I didn't put Monsters 342 or Keith's 350, even though they're on Salazar's leaderboard, and there's some pretty good reason for that. First of all, Salazar's checks for legitimacy looking back weren't very good. I mean, he kind of just checked if the account had been banned or not, which is not a very good check, but I also got some info that these win streaks aren't legit, and I trust Legitimate's word way more than Monster's, and I'm not even sure if Monster claimed this win streak to be legit, since when I or anybody else asks him, he kind of just dances around the question. But anyways, like, Keith's was already a sniper by the time he got the win streak, and Monster hard cheated a 450 and 570 only months after this one, so I'm like pretty decently sure they're not legit. Anyways, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Next video will be doubles win streaks, since they're basically equally as interesting, but that video will take a bit longer than usual since I'm going on vacation, so I can't work on it for a couple days. I'll still like respond to comments and stuff though, so don't worry. But after that, I might do 3s and 4s mode win streaks just to make it like a series, but at the same time, those win streaks have stayed pretty much the same throughout the years, so I don't know if it'd even be that interesting, but comment down below what you want to see. Again, we're close to 1K, but I'm also pretty close to monetization, which doesn't actually like affect you. Like, I'd say it helped motivate me, but I'm already going at like 110%. I mean, I edited like 13 hours or something crazy yesterday. But finally, I recently made a private Discord server, which is right now just me and my friends, and it actually has all my win streak leaderboards, and they're all fully updated since I have in fact found multiple new win streaks for each category since each video, including this one. And I'm not just saying that to brag, I'm saying that because I'll make it public at 5K, so if you get me there, you'll be rewarded indubitably. So again, thanks to Legitimate and others for helping me. Thanks to you for watching, and see you in the next one.
Oh my gosh, let's go! I got 100 victories! Let's go! 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 Hey, no worries. I already got 1,000. I already got 1,000. 100 is easy. Don't worry about it. I can do that all day, every day. Let's go.